Today, it's time to start building my forge. And just like the title of the video, I'm going to be making a wash tub forge. I think it'll work. I don't know. Welcome to Dave Doing Stuff, the blacksmith series. I've always wanted to be a blacksmith, and I'm going to figure it out, probably the hard way, and I'm inviting you to come with me. Now, this is an exciting day for me because I've finally reached a point where I can start building my forge. I'm an urban blacksmith. I don't have a blacksmith shop. In fact, I have a blacksmith closet that I designed. It's about 12 square feet. But because I'm in town, I have to be careful of noise and smells. And so I've designed and I'm building a wash tub forge with a wash tub and some patio slabs. All in, it's going to be about 65 bucks. Come on along for the ride. I don't believe that, guys. Look at that, it melted. I didn't know that was possible. Welcome back in. You can see we're making progress. I've got the bench built. I didn't do a video about that. There's really not much to it. It's a steel frame with 2 layers of veneer core, 3/4 inch plywood laminated together. Lots of glue, lots of screws to make it nice and solid. And now, I've got my vise as well. And I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I kept the shelf. I guess the critical part is I kept the shelf inside the framework enough that the handle of the vise doesn't impact on the door. The door will still close. I thought that was good planning. I picked this up at Princess Auto. I really had a hard time trying to figure out how am I going to contain the fire safely and still make it work for me. And I think this is going to work. I'm not sure just how I'm going to have to change it, but I'm going to build my fire in here. I'm going to put a fan around the back for a blower, and this should be an adventure. This forge is going to be built on the basic design of the one I used at the cottage. It worked okay. I'll be eliminating the concrete blocks. I'll be using patio slabs though, and I will even be using the same salvaged fence post that I used for my bellows pipe. It should work okay. I was hoping that I could find a rectangular wash tub to hold the patio slabs in, but it just wasn't possible. I couldn't find one anywhere. So I ended up buying a round 11-gallon wash tub from Princess Auto. My first thought was that I may have to do some modifications to the round tub in order to be able to get everything in it, but I want to put 3 inches of sand under the pipe as an insulator for heat. So I got a 3-inch thick board, measured how wide it was, put a line down the center, and then using one of the seams of the tub, I drew a line from that seam through the center of the tub to find the center line, and then measured off of it half the width of my 3-inch board. That would allow me to place the board exactly where the blower pipe was going to go. Then it was a matter of how do I get the patio slabs to line up on that center line, and because of the roundness of the tub, it's pushed to one side. You can see that. I had to try and figure out how far I had to move it. So I realized by putting the back patio slab in, it gave me a good visual. And if I was to wriggle things so that I could get that back patio slab to be plumb from the top corner to the bottom corner, then I would know that the forge patio slab was at the angle I wanted it at. Then I just had to measure from where that patio slab was to the center line, and I knew how far I had to move that patio slab to the left in order to get it to the center line of the pipe. At first, I thought that I would need to modify the tank in order to get that patio slab to move. I thought I might have to cut out the 2 sides. I knew that that would really impact the integrity of the tub itself, and it may make it a little bit floppy. I don't know. I've never cut one before, but I would like to try and find a way to avoid cutting that top ring on the wash tub if I could. And so my first thought was to see if I could scribe one of the patio slabs to match the circumference of the wash tub itself. So I did that by using a 2x6 as a pattern. This is a very basic scribing method. On this website, there are a whole bunch of different scribing techniques I used when I was building my van. This is a really basic one, just a simple matter of placing the 2x6 where the patio slab sits originally, then measuring how much you want to cut off of it with a compass or calipers or something, and then just tracing the shape you want to cut. Now in this case, because the tub is round, I knew I would have to undercut that scribe line a little bit. So So it's going to be a little bit more finicky than just cutting a straight line. It would have to be undercut a little bit to allow for the circumference. But using my pattern and with just a little bit of jigging around, it wasn't very hard at all, I got what I thought would be a pretty decent fit. Now this should be a template for both sides. Then it was just a matter of going to putting a masonry saw blade in my skill saw, tracing the pattern on my patio slab, then just patiently cutting along that line and being sure to undercut just a little weeny bit. It was not impossible, it wasn't that hard.
This is coming along pretty good, pretty good. The sand in the pail certainly stabilized things. So now, that is the shape I'm looking for. I've got the 90-degree corner at the back, which means each slab's on a 45-degree angle. That's looking pretty good. I have to somehow separate, create a little bit more of a space in the bottom for the air to come through. Right now it's sitting on the pipe. I need the pipe. I need it a little bit different than that. And I think I have to move this patio slab back to the back. I think I want the patio slab to come behind this as opposed to on top of. That way, if the angle ever changes with a little settlement, a little vibration, whatever it might be, I won't end up with cracks in this area. So I've got to get the patio slab to nest down behind it somehow. Okay, looking at this now, I've moved it just a bit. So now, if that back could just go straight down from there, that would just be ideal. And I think I can do that just by cutting out some of the slab where this corner is. I'm going to just try hollowing out these two parts and see if I can get it to drop 1.5 inches. So good. I'm going to take it a little more out. I'm going to take some of this corner though. I can have it drop down a little bit further. And not bad. Not gonna lie, that felt like a lot of work, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm now, the point of this back piece is now touching the 3-inch block of wood I have on the bottom, which is under the pipe. So this is good. I'll drop it down. I'll have to cut off that back corner to allow the air pipe to come through, but that's fine. And then what I did was I just adjusted these two slabs a little out of 45 degrees from off of plumb, which will give me the space I need right there for my pipe, for my air. That is ideal. And it's only, you see on this corner, the slabs are lining up. On this corner, if they were lining up, they'd be at 90 degrees, but they're not. They're out almost about 3/4 of an inch. So if I split the difference, that's only 3/8 of an inch on each side. Easy. Be perfect. This is ideal. Okay. Now to figure out about that air pipe. My next job is to cut a hole in the back of the tub for the air pipe to go through. I've centered it with I've got my centering board here. Center the pipe on that, just slide it up and mark where the hole has to go. Now take the sand out. I will be replacing that 3-inch board with a piece of 3-inch steel or something to try and, a couple of blocks at least, steel blocks, just to hold the pipe at the right elevation all the time. But for now, that's good. I'm going to take the sand out and figure out how I'm going to make that hole.
Now I wasn't sure just where on the bench the forge was going to end up going. That's why I haven't put a chimney in this thing yet. But I've only got 6 feet of bench space, and by the time you put the forge on, there's only about 4 feet left, no matter where it goes. And I want to have room for a vise, and I'd have room to at least set a tool or two, maybe do a little work if I could. So I put the patio slabs in, and I'm going to crowd the right side of the bench as much as I'm comfortable crowding it. It won't go right up against the side because the patio slab actually overhangs the rim a little bit. So that shouldn't be a problem, and that should be a good spot to have it.
Now I marked around the edge of the tub, so I can make sure I got it back in the same place again. And I've got my 3-inch spacer blocks underneath it. I'll line up on the center line. And I just have to put a hole in that back wall. Now, to make sure that things didn't jiggle around too much, I anchored these angle iron supports to the bottom, and then I strapped this end of the pipe to the anchor. The other end goes through the hole. It can't move around too much at all, so that's good. That's going to work out just fine now. Now I'm going to throw some sand in here just to bring it up to the underside of the pipe, so it'll pack a little bit overnight. And this has gone really well. I got the sand in, the pipe's anchored through the back wall, the forge is anchored down on each side. Now I'm going to try putting the concrete stones in, and we'll see how it all works out. Ho 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 ho! Look at that! Look at this! I made it look. It's not glamorous by any stretch, but it's going to work, I'm sure. I'll come back in the daylight and you'll see when it's a little brighter. That's going to work. And there we are. The forge is ready for a fire. And now I need the fan. And before I installed the fan, I wanted to make sure I had the wiring under control. So I ran some wires in, and there's the switch for the blower. And I put a plug up on the back of the bench for a drill or a grinder or something. Ultimately, I'll probably add another plug over here on the corner at the front, but I don't have any wire for that right now. So this is where we finished off. Initially, I'm going to be using this bathroom exhaust fan. I don't know what size it is. I have an apartment, and a tenant left it behind. I have no idea why they bought it, but it works. I plugged it in and it works. I don't know if it throws too much air or if it doesn't throw enough, but we're going to start off with that because I've got it, and I'll show you how that's going to work. Well, I think we are ready. It's dark in there, but there's the pipe with the holes in it. It's all filled up. It's set up. It's held in place. I've got my fire extinguisher installed. Around the back here, the video didn't turn out very well, but I built this box to protect the fan. And for today, this is how I'm using it. I've got the fan there, and then little piping going into the pipe, then directly into the forge. It should work. I don't know why it won't work. And again, I'm just going to plug in the extension cord. In the springtime, I'll run a hard conduit over and put a junction box on the outside here. But for this winter, this will get me through. There we go. Okay, now, I'm not sure just how this is going to go. I don't know if I need paper or not. I don't know if I have enough air coming through the fan. I'm going to put a piece of paper on there and a little bit of wood on here and just see what I have to do to get it started. See if I can get it started. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. Kind of exciting to get this far after years and years and years of planning on it, it seems. A couple of moves across the country and back. We're going and see. Got the fan on now. The fan's certainly giving us an assist on this. I have to get the fire going to a point where it starts to build coals. I can't do any forging until I get a hot enough fire with some coals. Now I've got a hunch that fan's not going to be strong enough. That's me blowing on it. This is without Dave. This is with Dave. I don't have a chimney yet because I wasn't sure just where the forge was going to go. It's going. There's no question it's going. Let's just see what happens. A little bit more fire going. This is going without the fan, and this is what it's like when I turn the fan on. It definitely makes a difference. Super. If I get that camera far enough away. I'll have to work on some camera mounting spots as well, but this is good for now. 10 minutes later. I think we're getting there. Looking good. Fire management's a chore. You got to get used to that. But I'll tell you what, I've got enough, certainly getting enough heat here to get a good, nice rosy red. And I'm making some headway here. I have no idea what I'm doing here other than just trying to muck around with it a bit just for the sake of getting used to it. But as you can see here, I got a twist on that one. I don't know what I'm making. I'm having fun. The first fire in the blacksmith closet. First forging today. And look at this. I made a hook out of a piece of reinforcing rod, and I made a pickle fork out of a 1/2 by 1/2 piece of rod. Now, I didn't mean to make a pickle fork. I think I overworked it and it just became a pickle fork. But that's the wonderful thing about blacksmithing. There are no rules, man.